Hey guys, so hanging out in the garage out here. I have this Black & Decker air station, which gives you the PSI and everything as you're pumping up your tire. This has been an amazing little pump for many years. So lately, this is for a cigarette lighter, or you can just plug it in the wall. But for the last year or so, the gauge really wasn't working. You can see it going up and everything like that. But once the air pressure get up to a certain temperature, once it get to where it's supposed to go and then shut off, it hasn't been shutting off. And just recently I tried to pump up my tire, and you can hear all the air leaking out inside. So in this video, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or not, but I'm going to crack this open and check out to see what's inside, see why it's not working correctly. Maybe clean up some contacts in there, so maybe it's not getting a contact to turn off. But I think there's probably a hose in there that's either blown or come off or something like that. So let's jump into it and see what we can find. Now that we get you guys all set up so you can actually see what I'm going to be doing, this here, there's a bunch of screws in the side and stuff like that. We'll see if we need to take those off. But I'm going to start with the 6 screws that are underneath here to take this bottom plate off. So taking the bottom off there, you can see, so here's the power. So it does turn on and everything like that, except for the air, when it comes out, does not pump anything. So by the looks of it, we're going to have to get in here a little bit further. So I got all the screws undone in here. Where I'm at, I don't know if you guys have these, but being out in the garage, I have these little bugs that fly around, and they lay their eggs in all these little holes, and then put a dead spider in there, and then cover it with mud. So that's when the babies hatch, they eat the spider and they come out. But it's winter time, there's none around, so what I did is I unscrewed all those, and let's just see if we can pop this thing open. A little persuasion in here. There we go. Little redneck persuasion. So let's see if we can pop this off without anything falling out. And that's good. So, alright, so it has a dual pump. And you can see that. Has both of these pump air into here, and there's one on the other side, and then it comes out. So as you can see right here, I have a hole. So there's my issue. So the fun thing would be, what I need to do is I need to take this hose out and just replace it. But by the looks of it, that's the only issue that I have. Maybe. Let's see if I can pop the other side off, because there's no screws on this side. But there is screws in here and here. So I'll take those guys out. And there's 2 more on the inside here. So those out. So looking carefully at this hose that's actually broken just goes to the gauge itself, and that's probably why it wasn't reading correctly. It's probably leaking out there. because when I plugged it in for the last year or so, I heard a little hissing, but paid no attention to it. So there's two things I can do. I can either just take this one here and clamp that so it'll work, but also I like this here where it actually turns off once it's at that certain pressure. So let's see if we can take this out. First I'm going to get a little rag here and clean up all my PV blaster. That comes right out there. And that hose is broken. So I'm just going to pull it apart. There we go. So you move this right out of the way and be able to work on it a little bit better. So the only clamp is really sort of like a spring. So after doing a little bit of inspections, I took these off, and as I'm taking them off, this thing is right dry rotted, so that's why it wasn't doing anything. And it's sort of like these little springs at the end. So now I can't find the other spring. That's alright, because I'm not using it. I do not have any hose like this. This is, you know what size it is. Well, I don't have any hose like this. But I do have this line here. Let's take a razor blade and cut some of it off. And then I don't want this to kink at all. This has to come up and go back down somehow, so I'll make it somewhat long. Now, with this is not really the pressure on this. I don't know how well it's going to work, but if I take this and I just stick it on there and put some sort of a clamp on it, I think we should be good. If I don't have a clamp, I'll just glue it on. So stick this on here. It's kind of tight. We'll fix that. There, so I just warmed it up a little bit and it went right on there, right nice and easy. So once it cools, it'll actually form to it, I would assume, right? I don't know if I have anything that'll keep that on there. Let me take a look and I'll be right back. So I couldn't find any sort of clamps to go on here, but what I did is, like I said, once it cools down, it should stay on there pretty good. So I ran it up underneath here because I have a blade here that's going to be going around to cool the motor down. So I ran it up like this, like it was, and I'm going to heat this end up here a little bit and stick that on this piton down here, huh? So what I've done as you can see, or sort of see. Right here is the little nipple. I stuck that on there as good as it can. By the time I try this out, hopefully it'll be cooled down and keep its form, stay on there. So I have a lot of extra here, but I wanted to make sure I had extra so this didn't crimp or anything like that. Let's plug it in, shall we? See what happens. Let me get an extension cord and I'll be right back. There we go, extension cord, and make sure this is off. Let's give it a whirl, see if it turns on. Noisy as hell. So it works, well, to an extent. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hold my finger over this and see if that goes up and see if those pop off. Yep. So I set this dial to whatever I need it to be, and once it reaches that, it turns off. So I'm going to put it up to 80. See if that hose pops off. Nope. So when I filled my tires up, they're about 44 psi. So the 80 that I just put it at, it didn't pop off. So I think that we're good. And like I said, once I hit the little doohickey there, it turned right off. I'm just going to put this back together and I'll try it one more time. So all in all, this Black & Decker air station, the reason why this stopped working, stopped turning off when I was pumping up my tires, and why it wasn't working at all, is because of course the hose was all dry rotted. So this is by the timestamp on the back of this, was made in 2008. This is 2019, so it's about 11 years old. So this here just, I mean, I don't know why, but it just dry rotted, and so I just went and got some new hose, replaced that tiny little hose there, and everything's working there. I have it all plugged in. Let's try it out one more time. Ooh, it sounded a little squeaky there. Maybe it was just air coming out of here. But anyways, it all works. It shuts right off the way it's supposed to. And it's working again. So this little machine has been amazing if you've ever had one. Or if you have one and you're thinking about getting one. But it's really nice. When this part works, I can put it on my car tire, set the PSI for it, and let it go, and it shuts off, and it's all done. So that's it. That's the end of this video. I know it's going to be a short, quick video, but I want to thank you guys for staying in and watching. If this helped you out at all, or if you just enjoy watching me do this stuff, go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification so you can see when I do my next one. It really does help, and I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching. Thanks. So real quick, while I still get you guys right here and you haven't left the video yet, I just want to show you something really quick. In a video that I did prior to this one here, I got a UltraSonic, and I cleaned a lot of things with it. It actually worked out pretty good. So as you could hear in this video, the UltraSonic was going in the background. I wasn't planning on adding this to the video, but hey, we're here. So these are the heads. This one is the head off from the snowmobile that I blew up. So what I've done, as you can see, this is the one I haven't cleaned yet. You can see a lot of black stuff in there, black all over the place inside here and stuff like that. So I need to stop saying so. The camera makes it look cleaner than it actually is. See if well, you can see this one here is the one that is the bad side, where it has a lot of metal shavings and stuff like that. So I just need to polish this one up to get that all clean. But this is what it looked like before. Let me get my grubby hands all clean here somewhat. This is the one that I just put in the UltraSonic. As you can see, it's a lot cleaner. I do need to get something inside here and clean out all this extra little stuff that's kicking around. But I just took this one out. Check this out. Look at that. Those aren't scuffs or anything. That's just, I can probably put it in there some more. But what I did with this is I put it in for the UltraSonic that I got from Harbor Freight. It does 8 minutes at a time. So the way that I've done it is, I could have just laid it down like this because there was enough room to put it in there, but it was at above the maximum amount of fluid. I could have taken some out and it would have worked fine. So what I did is I just laid it in like this. I did it for 2 8-minute sessions for 16 altogether, and then I flipped it around and I did that one. So just give you a better understanding of what it looks like. This one is the clean one. This one is the dirty one. So the UltraSonic works really well. I love that thing. If you don't have one, if you've been thinking about getting one, if you do anything with engines or carburetors or anything like that, last week I redid the carburetor for the chainsaw, which works excellent. There's going to be a video on that, and chop up some trees. I feel like burning wood today, so that'll be another video. But as you can see, it does work. It works excellent. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you on the next one.